Hey, how you doing today? So let's talk about these YouTubers in Angeles City. And how can you tell if a YouTuber is a good guy or not? There's a lot of really great YouTubers. I've met a few, and they're great people. But there's those out there who are just, well, the other side of that coin. And I got a couple surefire ways for you to tell the difference between the two. And it's real easy. I'm not going to tell you not to listen to anybody because that's what a dirtbag would do, right? Somebody who's insecure, somebody who's, you know, full of themselves, somebody with a low opinion of himself, they would tell you not to listen to somebody. I'm going to tell you, go listen to them all. Listen to everybody, even listen to the dirtbags if that's what floats your boat. I personally limit the content from people that comes into my headspace specifically and intentionally. I'm very specific and very pay a lot of attention to who I'm actually listening to. And it comes from reading a book. I read a book, It Takes What It Takes by Trevor Moawad. Really helped me change my life in a lot of good ways. And one of the things is controlling the inputs into your life. And so, I'm very careful about who I give access, unfettered access to my brain in the sense of inputs, right? I'll listen to pretty much anybody for a short period of time, but you're not on the regular playlist unless I feel you're a good, decent person, or you're bringing, good value to me in some way, shape, or form, or you're a good friend, right? Obviously, good friends, even in their bad seasons, I'm gonna, always try and be there for them as much as I can. So, how do you suss out what's going on with these YouTubers? The first one is listen to them, right? People tell you who they are. If somebody tells you how much he can lift, he's probably, if he's doing it a lot, he's probably self-conscious that he can't lift more. If he's telling you how much he can drink, I can drink 6 shots and not even, he's probably an alcoholic, right? People who run around and tell you how smart they are, they're probably struggling with some issues there about how smart they are. Probably, people tell you everything you need to know about them, just by listening to them. So when somebody's telling you how cool they are, chances of them being cool, chances of them having some significant issues they're trying to cope with or deal with, probably closer to the mark, right? So when it comes to YouTubers and Angeles, if you want to know if the guy's a good guy or not, start by listening to him. The second thing that really stood out with me that, after seeing these chuckleheads attack other people, and that's what this is. I'm just, the pot calling the kettle black right here. But seeing these guys, they don't take ownership of it, right? They don't take ownership that they're just out there gossiping. They're just out there like, where I'm informing you or I'm being informative. No, they're just gossiping. That's all I'm doing here. It's just funny. But they're out there talking shit and nobody's really pushing back of any, volume. So if you're going to get online, talk shit, I feel I have every right to enjoy myself and talk some shit back. So this is how I talk shit back, is I just point out your words and, would you care to clarify that? Would you care to repeat that? So when you say things, that are inflammatory, like, National Guard, they're just paramilitary. They're not real military anyway. That's kind of inflammatory. Would you care to stand by that, Mr. Philly in the Philippines? I don't know. So let's change gear to a little more positive scene here. The one thing that really, this is your go-to defining. If I'm going to talk about a YouTuber in a positive manner, I'm always going to tell you who that is. If I say, hey, I watch this guy, I'm going to tell you who it is. And I've done it numerous times. If you watch my videos and I reference somebody, because I believe if somebody's bringing me value and they could bring you value and I don't share it with you, then I'm a dirtbag. So Old Dog New Tricks, I've watched him a lot. He's brought some value to my life. I talk about him a couple times. I mention him. Overstate Road, I mention him all the time. Because why? He brings value to my life. Far East Poppy, I've mentioned him a couple times. Why? Because he brings value to my life. Brings entertainment, right? So, and there's many more, right? But if you watch these guys, they'll be like, oh, I was watching this video and Tim K said some mean things about me. He won't tell you the video he's watching, won't tell you who he's following, won't tell you anything about him. But he said mean things. And oh, this guy, he's the nicest YouTuber in Philly. But I won't tell you who he is because I don't want to plug his channel in any way, shape, or form. And I don't want to admit that I watch him. So I'm not going to tell you who he is. Do you see what I'm saying here? If you're not honest and open with your viewers about who you're listening to, and you're not willing to plug even people you call your friends, then how good of a person are you really? I mean, just think about that for a second. Think about people in your own life, at home, off YouTube, right? And, oh, I met this guy. He's the greatest guy in the world. He's so smart, and he helps me with this, helps me with that. Oh, well, who is he? Oh, no, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. Oh, I met this girl. She's so beautiful, so kind, so smart. Oh, can I meet her? No. Right? So it's just the funniest thing to me. Like, you know, oh, I found this great store. You can get whatever you want and it's cheap. And, oh, where is it? Maybe I'll go check it out. Nope, I'm not going to tell you. So it's funny, you know, to see these guys, and they'll do it all the time. They'll talk, oh, I was watching this channel, or I was watching this, watching that. And the funniest one was where Philly, he's like, oh, you shouldn't, you know, unless the ink is dry on your passport, you know, you shouldn't take advice from these guys. And then he went over to that Ace guy's channel and just stole his whole video. Ace had like these 11 points or whatever. I forgot what it was. It was like something like 11 things or 10 things. I don't remember. And Philly totally went in and just stole his whole video and just copied it, you know, not verbatim, but, you know, covered every point. Just took his whole idea and ran with it. And the whole time he's telling you, don't listen to this guy because the ink isn't dry on his passport. It's like, if the ink is that dry on your passport, you know, are you really worthy of listening to? You know, that's a whole nother video I'll do on a different day because it's a quick story. But, yeah, so again, how to tell if your YouTuber is a good guy or not? Listen to him. Listen to what he says and believe him. When they say things, believe him. If he doesn't talk about his friends or in a positive way, shape, or form, he's probably not a good guy. If he doesn't plug other channels openly and all the time, he's probably got a small brain and he's worried he's going to lose followers. And then obviously, you know, my big hang up right now is, you know, if you're running around with a hidden camera for 5 years and surreptitiously taking video of local women without their permission or consent and posting it online for the sexual fantasies of men around the world, you're probably not a good guy to hang out with. Probably don't have a lot of good friends who really value you as a friend. And if you do, oh, good for them. Happy for you. But nobody I want to be friends with. And nobody I think a lot of people in the world want to be friends with. If you're that much of a creeper out, you know, taking videos of women to post online, you know, there's no way around it. You know, if you're out taking videos of women, that's a little creepy. If you're out posting online, that's, wow. That's a whole new level of, like, I mean, just follow women around the mall. You may as well just go to SM every day and, you know, follow women around the mall with a hidden camera and blur their faces and post it, right? I mean, what's the difference between that and what some of these YouTubers are doing down in Angeles? And then the last one is, if you're promoting sexual tourism in a country where it's illegal, is that legal? Is that legal behavior? Promoting an illegal business? Because when you're talking about bar fines, you're talking about fresh girls from the province, you're talking about, which bars have this, which bars have that. You are, promoting sexual tourism. There's no other way around it, right? You're promoting people to come here under the belief that they can get things that are illegal. They can carry out, illegal activities. Now, granted, to my knowledge, I don't know the Filipino law, but to my knowledge, prostitution is only illegal for the women, if I understand that correctly. But, also putting up videos like the age of consent is 16 and not really clarifying that in the title, isn't that kind of a misleading, I wouldn't want to be posting that and living in the country I posted it about, just because it sends a wrong message. And, putting that up as a title on a YouTube channel with 100 and some odd followers, 100 and some odd thousand followers, that's not a good look for the country. It's not a good look for the YouTube, not a good look for the YouTuber. But evidently, it makes some money. So if he's making money, it's all good, honey. The question is what's going to happen when people start coming after that money? And how can they come after that money? And how long do you think they have to come after that money? So I'll tell you, the YouTube strike was predicted. I'll tell you what these chuggleheads are going to start doing now. They're going to start trimming their content, their catalog. They're going to start going through their catalog, delete, block, hide, right? And they're going to start changing their thumbnails, changing their titles. They're going to start doing a lot of pruning and self-reflection, because what's coming next is going to start to hit their bank accounts. And obviously they don't see it coming, but they will. So if you think some of these YouTubers have done things that you find or you think is offensive or degrading or unjust, you might want to start taking screenshots of their YouTube channels, making recordings of clips they said, because free speech isn't free. And a lot of countries, you're not even allowed free speech. So, I'm just saying, there's going to be opportunities for people opening up in the future, but more of that will come in a few days. But again, going back to how do you tell if your YouTuber is a good guy? It's real simple. Just listen to him and then stop and think, is this a guy I want entertaining me? Is this a guy I want to take advice from? Is this a guy I would trust to watch my children? Is this a guy I would trust to pick up my kids from school and bring them home? Is he going to have a camera in the back seat of the car? I mean, who knows, right? Because if he's that deviant in public, on a public platform, what's life like at home? I don't know. Maybe it's great. Maybe it's Cosby. Well, the good Cosby, the Cosby Show. That's what I meant. But yeah, I will say it was amusing meeting some tourist who went and met YouTubers that they'd been watching for a long time and seeing their reaction after the fact. They weren't as pleased as I was, because I met Poppy, walked into the Drake Hotel, walked into Poppy's Bar and Chill, and it was literally like walking onto the set of Cheers in the middle of a show being taped. Bunch of people I'd seen on video, and they're seen on videos in there having a good time, and I'm tired. I'm had a long day of travel, bus ride, and I'm tired, dirty, grumpy, and I'm just hungry. bottom line, I was hungry and thirsty. I walk in, and it was literally like walking onto a Cheers set. You know, Eric came over and greeted me, you know, introduced himself. And it was weird because like I felt like I knew him, and then I'm having to think, this guy doesn't know me from, you know, brick in the wall or a cockroach under his shoe, right? And so, but he was a genuine person. But again, you watch his channel, and he's always plugging people, always talking highly of people, never talks negatively about other people, never does a 3-hour live stream about some chucklehead drama, right? So there are some really great YouTubers that I would listen to and follow and ask advice from. But there's also some, you know, what's that saying? I wouldn't pee on you if you were on fire. Yeah, there's some like that too. There's some that when they fall down, I'd probably just laugh. I wouldn't offer to pick them up. So that's what I got today. Again, you know, the real glaring, like how to tell if your YouTuber is a good guy. Has he ever plugged another channel? Has he ever, you know, told a story about another YouTuber or a video he was watching and not plugged the channel? You know, to me, that's a clear and obvious and easy to see sign that that person is a good person or that person is a mental midget. I think that's still a legal term, or probably not anymore. But you know, having some personal security issues, having some personal self-worth issues. That's what I was looking for. That's the word right there. That's the phrase. Having some personal self-worth issues, concerns, things like that. But yeah, the other one, and this is kind of a subtle one, but if you watch the comments, you'll see who's a really decent guy and who's not, because there'll be comments that kind of get thrown up and then they disappear, and you're like, wait, that wasn't that. But the guys that get in there to their comments and just take out every negative comment or every questioning comment, every comment that says, hey, you know what, providing constructive feedback, even if it's not real negative, but any constructive feedback, you'll see them get in there and prune that shit out because they're so worried about losing face, right? Because they're so insecure. So, but if you enjoy it, watch it. You know, I'm all for it. This is just my opinion, my take, and I will plug that book again because that book really changed my life. It Takes What It Takes by Trevor Moawad, and you can go out and there's some videos by him. There's a couple of really good videos with him, interviews of him. I forgot the channel, but there was one he did the day after he got in an auto wreck. He got in a car crash, and then he had a video scheduled, and he like stopped a couple times so he could get a fresh ice pack for his back in the middle of the interview. And to me, that was a really good interview with him. But the book is better. I haven't read his second book, Getting to Neutral, yet. Been trying to find it, but being on the road, it's hard. And I was carrying 5 books. I'm down to just 4 books. So, but yeah, I do want to get his next book, and actually probably go look for that today, to be honest with you. I've got some free time this afternoon, and I know where there's a good bookstore. Glad I mentioned that, because now I'll go do that. I wasn't in the queue of to-dos, but now it is, definitely, because I think I may know a bookstore here that has it. Yeah, finding books is a real treasure when you're on the road in English, and you know, I'm usually not in the big cities. But anyway, that's what I got. Hope you enjoyed some of that. Hope you got a laugh. And I'll be back with some travel updates. I got some big plans in the works right now. And I've got an old video about Kuala Lumpur, like getting to Kuala Lumpur and back from the Philippines coming out. I got to finish editing it. I gotta cut in some prices and stuff to make it a little more complete. But I'll have that out probably in the next couple days. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day.